the truthful, and the most just. May Allah's Salam Alaikum. We thank Allah for allowing us to meet with you again for a congregational prayer service. We just want to reiterate to you the necessity of keeping up prayer. Don't ever think that prayer is just a vain exercise. It is not. And you find that out when you are a true believer and you ask Allah in prayer for things that are necessary to help you please Him, help you become a better person. He answers prayer. As you know, I'll show you an example. When you are one of your members, you may cut your finger. Now the finger cannot see the brain, and the brain cannot see the mind. But when empathy, when the mind feels the empathy, or the brain is an empath, it feels for the body. It feels everything. It just does not feel for itself. That's why people can have cancer in their brain and whatnot, and they never know it. But if you got cancer in other parts of you, the brain feels something is wrong. Then it's up to the God of the body, which is the mind, to address it. And as the body feels, the mind interprets it and answers that prayer. You see. So make no mistake. God is as real as the sunshine, as the moon, as the stars, as that body that you sitting there looking at. Just as you know your mind is real, why would you doubt the existence of a mind that knows more than yours? So don't hesitate to keep up prayer. Am I clear? All right. I know I don't. It's just like when, I have no doubt that, for instance, when, what angered me last night was this man's disrespect of our babies and whatnot that's in our meetings. But he actually did us a favor, because the world has accused us of teaching hatred. But they got a good example of what we have suffered for 460 years under these white people. It's like what, when he, for instance, he called me nigger. That was wishful thinking on his part. He wished I was still his nigger. Do you understand what I mean by that? Is that, see, when I was his nigga, I acted like him in the eyes of the world, and he appeared to be civilized when I came in his presence or into the world's presence using profanity and acting a fool. Then he could say, "See, I told you, they ain't got no sense." I remember the messenger said to me about white people. He said, "I don't get angry with them the way they rule and what they teach." He said, "How in the world are they going to teach and take us away from the reality of God?" He said, "If they get to rule, they got to take us away because we got the reality." He said, "Every time you look at the black man," he said, "every time you look at a black man, you looking at God." He says, some of you say, "Oh no, I'm no God," and you know God. He said, "Okay, get your God out and show him to me. You can't show me your spirit God, your ghost." And so he said, "We're not going to hold your attention to this kind of teaching. We got lots of work here to do." Then he came right back to it. He said, "If you say there goes the devil, then don't try patterning yourself after the devil." I told you, I know how to curse with the best of them. If you know, I didn't grow up in a bubble. I grew up in the hills of North America. Reading this S on there because each is more than one state. It's a group of United States. That's what, you notice they call Israel a state, the state of Israel. You know, many people don't understand. And some of the Southerners, for instance, they call Mississippi, and the governor, he said it's the sovereign state of Mississippi. And each state is sovereign. They just agree to be the United States. And that's another word for country, actually. And at any point, a state, if the people in it decide, according to what they taught us in school, they can secede from the Union and become totally independent. Do you understand? Their unity proved to be a source of strength in every way, and they understood that. That's why they agreed to unite and have as a means of justice from in their dealings with each other. They agreed on a federal government that would have jurisdiction to be enforcers over states to do certain things to make sure that the Constitution is upheld. So if a state and its government, because of the benefits that they are getting from the Constitution and from the unity of the states, if there's they have federal laws that covers everybody, covers all of the states, and if the state cannot make laws that are against the whole Constitution. Do you understand? And when they do that, the federal government steps in and said, no, you can't do that. That's going to destroy our union here. You can't do that. Now, our agreement is to all abide by the U.S., the United States Constitution. Do you understand? And so they know the power of unity. At least they did. But anyway, the messenger said, he said, if you say there goes the devil, then don't try patterning yourself after the devil. Show the devil that you are a righteous person. What did I show him last night? Showed him that I'm a righteous man. I'm not. You can't. Now, make no mistake. Now, what he was doing didn't sit well with me at all. But you can't, you don't get a chance to show what your religion really is until you get angry or till you run into something that don't please you. You know how people, we used to say this when I was in the church, and somebody crossed you, said that so-and-so made me lose my religion. And be ready to do it. It'd be a whole different thing, and but in Islam, anytime you say someone made you lose your religion, it's because you're a hypocrite. You didn't have no religion. We're not just Muslims it's just like a house. How would you like to live in a house that every time the wind blow, it fall down? I can't have no house, no cardboard house. All right? Well, what make you think Allah wants a cardboard temple? I'm a Muslim 24/7. And how you act don't dictate how I act. Allah's word dictates how I act. My duty is to fear God and keep his commandments. Not to walk around here reacting every time somebody think they got a button to push on me. I ain't got no button say push here and make me act a fool. And I bear witness. All people count with me. But don't nobody count with me more than Allah does. When all men count with you, but none too much. Well, I bear him witness. That poet had he had the right idea. My children count with me, but not too much. I don't worship my children. I worship Allah. And I teach my children to do the same thing. Now, what they do, my mother taught me that. Now, what I did after I grew up, that was me. But I can't say I wasn't taught. Even when I was out there smoking and drinking and doing all that stuff, I knew I was wrong. That's the difference, though, with me and a lot of people I see that do wrong and want to try to make wrong right. You got a real problem when you start doing that. Like that boy last night. Just like when I heard him breathe. I said, what is it now, boy? Huh? You notice, I stop when I hear somebody trying to say something to me. In the first place, you ain't got no wolf tickets to sell me. You ain't got nothing that you can say that frightens me. Because in the first place, I ain't told you nothing but the truth. So I ain't scared you gonna make no lie out of nothing I said. I don't say things I can't prove. Mm. That's a very foolish teacher that stands up and says something that he can, if questioned on, he cannot offer proof that is true. Well, what are you teaching? If you can't prove that what you're saying is right. So he got tie-tongued now for a little bit because he wasn't expecting me to let him talk. Well, see, I ain't him. I'm not a bigot. I'm glad he was talking. You know why? He forgot that the whole world was listening and watching. See, I make you take the stand and then make you reveal what's in your heart. And everybody can hear you so that when they see what's going to happen to you, they know why. And they be saying he deserved it. That's right. You know, that's what the sun do. If it's some weeds over there, the sun help them grow. So you can see why they got burned up. Don't you want to see what's in people? Whether you want to see it or not, that's what day and time it is. You got to see what's in people. You see? And I'm going to tell you something, boy, when that sun gets so hot, you get some people, they have to and they be cussing the sun and trying to get out the way. But that ain't going to change nothing. The sun don't cool off because you don't like it. Then you better get yourself somewhere in some shade. Huh? Get your fan. Something. But the sun ain't gonna cool off just because you hot. See, and after all that, he wind up in hell. Huh? Now, what was the point? He was hoping that he was dealing with a nigga. I told you that's the worst thing you can do is pick a fight with somebody who got more sense than you. What, I'm supposed to fall out with all white people over him? I ain't judging people by no, I told you a long time ago, ain't no stereotype judging him. Every man and every woman and every child is being judged by their own works and by their own words. They are being justified or they are being condemned. Why does the scripture say by your own words you be justified or you be condemned? Every idle word. That means every false word. What is an idle God? Well, what is an idle word? Now, see how simple that is? Every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account of it in the day of judgment. You notice people get so mad at me sometimes. They be talking and I'm cutting them off to ask them a question or to argue with something they just said. And they be talking and lying so fast that they don't even remember what they just said. And accuse me of just trying to cut them off and confuse them. And whatnot. All I'm doing is listening to what you're saying and holding you accountable for every lie you tell. So, That's what I do. You know, it is. Make no mistake. I'm judging. You know, I love you, but I love Allah the most. You understand that? He wouldn't have chose me if I loved somebody equally. I love you as I love myself. You see? And you look how I treat myself, then you should know that, you know, I mean, you know what to expect from me. Allah comes first. My people come first. If you're going to help me, you're going to help me to help the rest of our people. And the rest of our people going to help me to help the rest of humanity. You're going to have food, you're going to have clothing, and you're going to have shelter. And then when that's taken care of, then it's time for us to concentrate on the people who are less fortunate and the people who are ignorant and need someone to show them the way. Then a city, we have to put this city on the hill and let people be guided by the light of our city. Do you understand? You see, and the best teacher that we can be for the rest of the world is a good example. You know, if you put forth an example of what you're trying to guide people to, there ain't no misunderstanding. They don't even have to speak your language when they see an example of what you're trying to do. Because seeing is believing. You can't say something can't happen if you see it. What day it is, it doesn't happen. So, you know, I'm always interested in people who disagree with me. Like a doctor, he's always interested in a sick person. Huh? People in this world claim to be religious, and when they meet somebody who's not religious, they don't want to talk to them. Well, what are you here for? You know, I wouldn't have cast that boy into hell if he had it, you know, just went on and quit while he was ahead. I know he's a devil. So what? I made him that. As the messenger said, he said, if you show the devil that you're a righteous person, because he's watching you for such. How long had he been sitting in there listening and watching me? Huh? Okay. So he was watching. And so the messenger said, and if you say he's not righteous, he could easily tell you I was not my maker. And that'll stop your mouth. So I wasn't condemning him because he the devil, because I made him that. We made him that. And I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about us. The scientists of the black nation, we made them devils. And it'd be wrong to condemn him for being what we made him. Most people don't know the difference in pointing out something and condemning something. Because you point out that that's the carpenter, why should he get mad if that's what he is? Well, what you pointing me out for? What you mad about? If you didn't want nobody to point to you for being a carpenter, well, then you shouldn't have became one. we pointed out the white man is the devil so that you would know that he is the one that you was told don't follow. We have been deceived by him. And that was the mark that was set upon him, that he would be able, the teachings that was given to him. You know what writing is, it's marks on paper. So God set a mark on Cain, lest any finding him should slay him. And you understand? And so it wasn't time for us to see him so he could do his work. And he was told to do his work for 6,000 years. And then after 6,000 years, he said he was told rest, meaning stop, or you will be stopped. Huh? And so I'm not saying something that white people don't know. The scholars and scientists of them, they know that this is the truth. Even that devil who was in here last night, he wasn't arguing about being the devil. He didn't present that kind of argument, you know. And but you know, unlike most people think that the devil is his maker's enemy. There ain't nothing in the creation that can be God's enemy. do you understand? You know, the devil is man's enemy. Them evil thoughts that you have, them is your devils. That's why I asked the young brother last night. You know, he asked me, well, is the white man the devil? And then I turned around and asked him, is the white man the only devil? And he said, why didn't I answer his question? I had answered his question. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know, it makes no sense at all for any of you to try to argue with me because you don't have enough knowledge or wisdom to even begin an argument with me because you can't understand what I understand. I answered your questions and you don't even know I answered. Allah has made me to see so deep into things that I answer questions even by asking other questions. So, you know, just be quiet and let me teach you. That's what the book says. The Lord is in his holy temple. Let all the earth. It didn't say let Negroes. It didn't say let white folks or Japanese or Chinese or Indians or whatever. It said let all the earth, all the people of earth, keep silence before him. You know, I'm not afraid. If you're not afraid to ask me the question, don't think that I'm afraid to answer. The answer you may not like. The answer may cause you to disbelieve more. That's why you should have just waited on me to teach you instead of call yourself quizzing me. You know, it's just like how many people stumble over the question, are you God? You know, I say, yeah. Now what? You shouldn't ask. I'm not afraid to tell you the truth about what I know. You one don't know who I am. Because you only see with your physical eyes. You don't see God with your physical eyes. As I told you, the Holy Quran says, vision comprehends him not, and he comprehends all vision. to me, that's plain. But to everybody else, it's confusion. Unless I make it plain for you, as I have done on several occasions. You've never seen your mind with your physical eyes, but it is your mind that comprehends everything that you do see with your physical eyes. Vision comprehends him not, and he comprehends all vision. Most people think they see with their eyes, but you don't. You see with your mind. It is the mind that's doing the looking. That's why it's an old saying and it's an old saying of old people. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. And what that is saying is something that appears to be beautiful is beautiful in the mind's eye of the one who's doing the looking. It's all in the mind. If something is ugly to you, it's all in your mind that makes it ugly. If something is beautiful to you, it's because in your mind it's beautiful. So keep on rowing your boat, and one day you will discover life is but a dream. But anyway, let's go here. And dream is something that only happens in your mind. So let us remember that we are Muslims, and if you follow me, then you are a Muslim. When I say follow me, I mean obey me. And then you are Muslim. You are one who submits. And now it's a lot of people came to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. It's a whole lot of people came to Jesus. A whole lot of people came to David and Solomon and Muhammad. And said that they believed in Allah and the last day. And they sought to deceive those believers. Remember, Allah told the prophets that you shall believe in the Son of Man and you shall aid him. They were all believers in me. And you have some people who came to the believers. They come to the believers and they say, we believe. And they were not believers. They seek to deceive Allah and his prophets. And they deceived only themselves and perceived not. I remember when the messenger was telling our people how beautiful they look. He said, if you was up here where I am, you'd bear me witness. You look beautiful. He said, he thanked them for being so respectful of him. And he said, now this time I'm going to do this myself. He said, anyone that wants to join with us, come on around and shake my hand. And after he shook hands with some of them, then he said, and if you don't want to join, then wait until you see the end, and then you will come. He said, we don't object to you going to the God that you believe in. He said, but I hope that when the day comes, that Allah won't miss throwing you over in the middle of hell. Everybody thought he was being so humble and kind, but the messenger, make no mistake, messengers of God all believed in me. And if you didn't believe in me, when I showed up. He told you for 40 something years. He said, accept your own and be yourself. And yourself is a righteous one who submits. Why did he keep saying that? He said that because it's written. He came unto his own. Talking about me. And his own received him not. Jesus said it another way. He said, first must he suffer many things and be rejected of this wicked and adulterous generation. Yeah. This, people, if people do anything to you if they think they can get away with it. Huh? Just like that boy last night. The reason he heard me say I don't carry no guns or nothing. And he's a coward. So naturally he feel like that's why I gave him my address. I fix you everybody who think that they gun is so powerful and think that their weapons mean something. When Almighty God already told his servants, don't be afraid of them. He said, no weapon that they have will be prospered against you. The messenger told me, he said, Allah said, if there's any fighting to be done, he said he would do that. While he's talking, fires and stuff was burning all over this country. Storms was hitting, tearing up stuff. Then he had a storm in his brain. And he got tied to him for a little while. He didn't know what to say. I'm not worried over what you ain't gonna have no mind. I already seen it. As the messenger told me, he said that the prophets, he said the prophets, they don't have, if they have a vision, it's the truth. There ain't no untrue vision. Remember I told you I saw everybody walking around, couldn't blink their eyes at the beginning of my mission. And I felt sorry for you. That's the end of everybody that reject me. And the messenger, he said, I don't care what you say about Elijah Muhammad. He will not be roaming the streets with his eyes set in his head of a chastisement from Allah. Because I'm not going to disobey Allah. That's what he said. And he told you that Allah is a man. Yeah. And he told you he's the black man. That's right. So it ain't my fault if you didn't believe it. You shouldn't have got so familiar. You should have trusted in the word. For that's the only reason you don't trust me is because you don't trust in the Holy Scriptures. If you trusted in the Holy Scriptures, then the Holy Scriptures bear me witness. All of it is written about me. Show me anybody that did me a wrong and had good luck. That boy's mind backed up on him last night. You notice when I told him to come on back in here and tell us how good you feel after you messed with me, he didn't say how good he was feeling. That didn't nothing happen to him. And you could hear it didn't happen to him. Go back and listen to it. I didn't make him die. I wasn't even talking to him. I was talking to my own people. Huh? And I offered him and others like him $20,000 and my life if they could show that I'm teaching something wrong about white people or any people. Who else is doing that? Nobody. Well, it ain't my fault because you bunch of devils. And you know, I'm not. And believe me, when you reject the truth, I don't want you. Did you hear what I said? You ain't got to worry about me running up behind you and trying to placate you. And the minute I see you don't want the truth, I don't want you. But I show you respect. You know, I show everybody respect. I ain't walking around scowling at people, looking all crazy at people because they don't want to be a Muslim. A man don't want to be a Muslim is a man that's saying, I don't want to be righteous. I don't want to serve God. Well, God gave him that right. So what I'm supposed to do when a man exercises his rights that God gave him? Treat him like I want to be treated. Show him respect. That if that's what you want, well, okay. Well, I'll leave you alone. Then if Islam and being a Muslim is what I want, why don't you leave me alone? Islam teaches you to respect people's rights. You see? So, you know, I don't want you to ever think that you have to hide to be a Muslim. Remember, the scripture said this: whosoever shall confess me before men. Meaning what? Whosoever is not ashamed to let people know they with me. With him will I confess before my Father, which is in heaven. Whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father and the holy angels. Huh? You know, who want to be with somebody who's ashamed to be with them unless they're in private somewhere? If you can't publicly show that you with me, you can forget all that private stuff. Unless I tell you different. When God sent the angels there to Sodom, he didn't tell them go there. We the destroying angels and we came here to see if we need to destroy y'all. He just told them go and visit there and see how bad it is. So as far as them people was concerned, them was just men. Huh? Yeah. So, I tell you all of the time, some of y'all, sometimes I tell you ain't got to, the brothers know what I'm talking about. You don't have to go there sounding no trumpet about who you are. You can be Ronald J. Bogus if you want to. You ain't got to go there and say I'm Muhammad. It's and it's not because we are afraid somebody gonna do something to you. Sometimes we need to know other things about people. You see, when people, you remember that movie They Live? You remember when your boy couldn't keep his mouth? And he said, look at you. He said, that's like putting perfume on a pig. And because he could see, he had him glasses. And they said, we got one that can see. And they start acting different when they found out he could see him. Well, sometimes you need to act like you don't see people. Do you understand? And they'll show you more if you act like you don't see. I laugh and talk. And sometimes people, they get confused when, I'm just laughing and talking and sounding so much like them. They start thinking that I am them. Yeah. And so they can let it all hang out. I make people let it all hang out. Yeah. I know what the book said I'm supposed to do. So I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm approachable. I'm not walking around here with a chip on my shoulder. People won't talk to me, I stop talking to them. And so, it ain't my fault because you ain't had sense enough to realize that, I told you I'm the Son of Man. You should have at least went and looked in the book to find the Son of Man, and that's all in the Old and New Testament. In the volume of the book, Son of Man is there, telling you who he is. And that's the one who come and judge the world at the end of the world. Anybody that look at this, you hear people all the time saying, we in the last days, the world is coming to a head. Well, then how come you don't believe I'm the Son of Man? Man, that's on you. That ain't on me. I'm going to let you go in a minute. But I wanted you to hear that, boy. And I wanted the world to hear him. That's why I said, what else you got to say? Why? Because it's people in Germany, in France, in Australia, in England, everywhere where white people are. They heard that. These are some of the same people who was accusing the Honorable Elijah Muhammad of teaching hate. But you heard it straight from the devil's mouth last night. Here these people was accusing me of not knowing how to raise my child. And coming in there pretending that they was worried about that baby, huh? Did you hear all that filth coming out of his mouth in front of our babies? You see, but what you don't understand here is that when the babies hear that, then it lets them see, because they don't hear that coming from their parents, it lets them see that they have some good parents. Do you understand? And if they leave us and go to that world, then that's what's waiting on them. There are people like that. So I'm supposed to feel sorry for you when you choose to go to them and leave me? No, I don't feel sorry for you. I feel glad that Allah took you on away from him. No, I told you I'm not. You ain't gonna break my heart. No, you ain't. Allah got my heart. I love Allah with all my heart. And I love you like I love me. And you can't ask no more than that. And if you do, I can't give no more than that. You notice? There's not much I ask out of any of you. Just check it. Check your history. And you'll find that I didn't make myself no burden to you. And then what he want now? But no. As long as I can carry my own bags, I don't even have to. I mean, I'm so thankful that Allah made all of these totes, gave us the knowledge of how to make all these luggage and stuff with wheels on it and stuff like that. So I don't need nobody. It's heavy. No, it ain't. I just got a handle on it and just pull it like you would a dolly or something. And it's just as light. You can pull it with one finger. So I don't need you to carry nothing for me. No, you're never gonna accuse me of trying to make no slave out of nobody. So that's why I can talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, and can't nobody get on unmute a phone that's done left me and come back here talking about I messed over them. I ain't messed over none of you. Do I need to start talking about who messed over me? Or thought they were? No, I ain't got to. You know, I didn't back out on my word to you. I told you I would never turn on you if you don't turn on me. And I've lived up to that. I don't sit down and let people talk none of y'all down that's with me. I don't sit down and let nobody talk you down. To me. No. If I have a real problem with you, I'll tell you. If I ain't told you I got a problem with you, I ain't got no problem with you. Are we clear? Then you ain't got to wonder, because I ain't scared of none of you. So I can say if I got a problem. You know, and you know, walking around here harboring ill will towards people, that ain't never got us nowhere. But in this condition we in, poverty stricken all over America, because we can't seem to forgive each other something that happened 50 years ago. And the sad part is that we all know that we've been enslaved and messed up in the head, and yet we walk around here acting like we don't know that. And so we blame everybody for every affliction that their mind has. That's why I was so glad that little brother was talking to me last night. Because the longer we talked, I knew if he stay on that phone and we talk, then I can give him the truth. And the truth, once he get it, the truth is the best medicine in the world. Allah's word is the truth. The messenger said the right cure for the disease in our hearts is the spirit of Allah, the word of Allah. And you see what Allah's word did. It turned brothers who were at odds with each other and potential enemies to each other. It removed the enmity and made us brothers again. That's what Allah's word is for. And that's what makes the devil mad. Do you understand? Because his thing is divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. God's house have no business being divided. There ain't but one God. And so Allah have sent me with the guidance and the religion that is of the truth that's in these words here. Jesus said, Father, not my will, but thy will be done. Islam means entire submission to the will of God. The Holy Quran, Prophet Muhammad said, the right religion with Allah is Islam. It's just plain. Okay, Allah sent me with the guidance and the religion that's of his scriptures. The religion of truth. that I may make it overcome the other religions, all of them. Though the polytheists are averse. Now, you know, when you have an aversion to something, you don't like it. So the polytheists is people who think that they are God besides God, and they believe in somebody else's understanding of Allah's word instead of Allah's understanding. And so who's ever understanding you acting on, that's who you worshiping. And you can tell every time you open your mouth, whoever you've been getting understanding from, that's whose words coming out. And if you talking about the word of Allah and you give an understanding that Allah's word don't have in it, you are a polytheist. And I have overcome you. That's right. That's why I can talk for hours and hours and hours. And don't make no mistake. It's a lot of them boys be listening to me and trying to act like they don't, but you can tell they do, because some of them come out, yeah, you just talk. All you do is just talk, and won't let nobody else. How you know I talk? Because he out there listening, stealing a hearing. Don't you know it would have been better that you never heard me than to heard and understood and wouldn't submit? If I had not come and spoken unto them, they wouldn't have been guilty of sin. But now they have no cloak. You know, fix them phones where the people can unmute them, brother. I thought by now the devil would have said something.
Q&A session is over. All callers are muted and they can unmute themselves.
Okay.
Q&A session is over.
Nobody tried to unmute their phone? Well, you know, you let people, you know, the devil always it's like a sheep. You notice, the more you learn from me, the more you submit and receive from me, the more you are able, like a sheep knows a wolf when he sees one. Haven't you noticed? You know crooks when you see them. Huh? They talk to you a little while, you know who you're talking to, don't you? They used to see you from whence you saw them not. And surely he sees you, he as well as his hosts, from whence you saw them not. But you notice, since you've been listening to me, you see everything. Huh? Yeah, that's what the sun is for. Can you look out there and see everything? Yeah. That's your protection. So when you see the wolf coming, you just, let me get on around. Here you go. And you can go around him or whatnot. You know, you can't run no game on you. Say, hey, let me talk to you. Look, I ain't got time for what you talking about, man. Go on. Is that right? He know he better not put his hands on you. So that's that. So we will keep on teaching, and every time someone use everything. Well, Allah does not waste anything. Boo-boo. It's not wasted. Most of the nitrogen that's in the air comes from decaying stuff, from the droppings of animals and from us. And, you know, And that is what helps other things to grow. You know, you in order to build buildings, don't they keep planting trees? You know, they pay a lot of money for trees, don't they? They cut them down and then they plant some more. You need raw material. The, what Boo Boo actually is, it's the package that those nutrients came in, and it's recycled like a paper bag. You get your stuff in a bag, and then you take it out of there, and you ball the bag up, and throw it in the trash. Well, that's what we do when we eat and whatnot. Our bodies extract the nutrients out of there, and the package that it came in, it throws it away, and then that is recycled to make other packages. Do you understand? Yeah, that's all it is. So, you know, as we mature, we start to realize that human waste is no different than a paper bag or whatnot, and there's nothing to be acting like you so against and all that kind of thing. That's a natural biological function that all flesh has. That's part of the life cycle. Eat, reproduce, and pass waste. Huh? Okay. If it's alive, it's going to excrete waste. You see? But the thing about waste is it is not wasted. You know, praise is due to Allah. So let's stand and have prayer. Attention. Hut. Original salute. Ready front. Prayer position. Allah is the greatest. Allah is the greatest. Allah is the greatest. Allah is the greatest. And I bear witness that I know of none who deserves to be served or worshipped beside thee. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, all holy praise is due and be to thee, O Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful Master of the Day of Requital. Thee do we serve, and thee do we beseech for help. O Allah, please continue to guide us and keep us on the right path and way, the straight path and way of thee and those upon whom thou hast bestowed thy favors, not the crooked paths and ways of Satan and those upon whom thy wrath is or will be brought down, nor the foolish paths and ways of those who go astray or who are led astray, even after they've heard and been given the true understanding of thy holy word and teachings. Truly, I have again turned myself to thee, O Allah, striving to be totally upright, to thee who originated the heavens and the earth, and I am not of the polytheists. Truly my prayers, my sacrifices, my life and my death are all for thee, O Allah, the Lord of the worlds. No associate hast thou in this am I commanded, and I am of those who submit. O Allah, thou art the King. I know of no God but thee. Thou art my Lord, and I am thy servant. I have been greatly unjust to myself, and I confess my faults and weaknesses. So please grant me and my true followers and family continuous protection against all of our faults and weaknesses. For none grants protection against faults and weaknesses but thee. And guide us to and instill within us the best of moral character and thoughts. For none can guide us to and instill within us the best of moral character and thoughts but thee. And turn us away from and remove from us the evil and indecent moral character and thoughts. For none can turn us away from and remove from us the evil and indecent moral character and thoughts but thee. And our Lord, please do not punish us if we forget or make a mistake. And our Lord, do not allow to be laid upon us a burden as was laid on those before us. And our Lord, do not allow to be imposed upon us that which we have not the strength to bear. And pardon us, and grant to us thy protection, and have mercy on us, and forgive us. For thou art our protector. So grant us the victory over the unbelieving and disbelieving people, and over the hypocrites and the devils, and especially over the weaknesses and afflictions that lie within each of us and whereby we have been afflicted. And save us from the hell that thou hast promised the devils and their followers. And grant that we not only see the hereafter, but live therein with thee. Amen. Hot change, hot. Original salute. Ready front. You may be seated. So I want to say, remember to keep up prayer. And, you know, we are making progress. Slowly but steadily. So, you know, remember where you came from and you won't ever be lost. Remember where Allah brought you from and you will never be ungrateful. Are we clear? All right. And it's like children. The only reason a child would disrespect his mother or father is because he forgot that they gave him life. How do you give thanks to somebody who gave you life? How do you disrespect somebody who gave you life? You have to be someone who has no conscious memory of who you're dealing with. Surely man is ungrateful. Huh? Yeah. Okay. So Allah said, cast into hell every rebellious, ungrateful one. So that's what I have to do. I can't second guess Allah. As the last thing happened, it popped into my mind to cast that boy into hell. Here I'm offering him salvation, and he mad at me for what? Like a rabid dog. You know, it's, you know, what can you say? So it's not actually rabid. It's rabid, as in rabied. Yeah. So we want you to understand that we understand what we're talking about. So, true religion is to treat others as you would like to be treated. Do you understand? Not as they treat you, but as you would like to be treated. Because that's all you really have to answer for. It's how you treated others. They the one got to answer for how they treated you. Huh? All right. Just remember that. Okay. You take that box to your mama here. Rahman. All right. Okay. Are there any questions? Then may Allah bless us all and keep us safe and in our right minds. And I look forward to talking with you all tomorrow. Meeting with our guests and see what he have to say. May Allah's Assalamu alaikum.